So, Robin, it's been approached before strategically.
Sure.
It's an interesting area for the United States. It's sort of the mirror, kind of Alaska on the other side with channels through the Arctic Ocean. Why is this a crazy idea?
Look, geostrategically, this could be a great idea if it were for sale, but they've made it perfectly clear that it's not, like you just said in the lead to this segment. I think that, honestly, this is a great distraction, and the president is just fantastic at doing this. We saw a lot of tweets from him yesterday about the economy, reassuring us with that inverted yield curve that everything is going smooth. And, you know, we had that leaked executive order proposing to censor the internet. I don't think that's going anywhere, but I think this is a fantastic distraction because, look, it's our lead story tonight. We're talking about something that probably won't happen. If it did, I think it probably would be great for us, like I said, geostrategically, and especially with their uranium resources, Martha.
Yeah, and that, you know, it's interesting because during this discussion in the report, it talks about how there was discussion that Denmark was having some financial trouble over its assistance to Greenland, and that was sort of what prompted kind of this initial conversation, and then there was the discussion that it had been tried before. Here's Secretary of State Mike Pompeo back on May 6th in Finland. Watch this.
The Arctic is at the forefront of opportunity and abundance. It houses 13% of the world's undiscovered oil, 30% of its undiscovered gas, and an abundance of uranium, rare earth minerals, gold, diamonds, and millions of square miles of untapped resources.
So, Michael, how serious do you think this idea might be?
It's quite serious, actually. I mean, that's the thing about land, is that God isn't making any more of it, so it's usually a good investment. Real estate has paid off well for the United States. The Louisiana Purchase, the annexation of Texas, California, obviously Alaska. And another point that Secretary of State Pompeo pointed out is that if the direst warnings about global warming do come true, then you could be looking at new trading routes that are being opened up through the Arctic. And this could be, in his words, the Suez or the Panama Canal of the 21st century. So I do think it's a serious thing to mention. Obviously, we tried to buy it in 1946 for $100 million. The price might be going up, but I don't think it's totally off of the table. And from a geostrategic point of view, I think it's totally worth bringing up. To the question of whether or not Donald Trump is merely distracting, it is true that Donald Trump is the king of controlling the media narrative, but he has this knack of bringing up actually serious concepts, and because he is the one who's bringing it up, people dismiss it out of hand. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think we should look forward to it. If Denmark says it's not for sale, that seems to me like the beginning of a real negotiation. Perhaps we will actually see the art of the deal.
Well, I mean, it's possible. And it's interesting to note also that China wanted to build 3 airport facilities, you know, there, and that was sort of shut down by the United States. So there are definitely Russia, China, the United States are all expressing some interest in this part of the world. And I think whenever that's happening, you have to sort of look at it at least with an analytic, serious eye in terms of the strategic implications of it. And it looks, you know, if it's true that Denmark is having some financial difficulties with their commitment to Greenland, that also is an open question as well. But I also think that they are interested in, I think this is good for Greenland, Robin, because it's, you know, today and yesterday, everybody's Googling Greenland and looking at it and looking at pictures of Greenland. And it strikes me that everybody's been going to Iceland, right? I mean, Iceland is like the tourist capital of the world. I mean, everywhere you go, you see people with these pictures of themselves in the Blue Lagoon, which I think we have a picture of. More than 2 million tourists went to Iceland in the most recent tourism count, which I think is 2017. This is where everybody wants to go there. And I think that Greenland looks at that. They've got only 84,000 people coming to Greenland. Like, maybe this is all good for them, Biro. Robin.
And it will be interesting, Martha, to see exactly how this works with President Trump's visit to Denmark next month.
Yes.
To see if, you know, how far he gets with these conversations. And yeah, I think that it's probably good for their tourism. On one hand, you know, just to make light of the conversation, I almost wish that he'd proposed to buy the Maldives, because I sure could use a vacation. But, you know, I don't think these are harmful discussions. It's definitely out of left field. I just know that, you know, if you look at our national debt divided up per capita, we're looking at over $65,000 per person. I don't think it's necessarily the right time to be investing in this when we are saddled with debt.
We'll see where it goes. Thank you very much, Michael Knowles and Robin Biro. Good to see you both tonight.